Okay, so what we're going to learn today is how to make a frequency table on Excel. And we're also going to maybe take a look at how to do a pie chart, bar chart, those kinds of things. Let me go ahead and share my screen really quick. So let's open up Excel. By the way, this works with any data set you want to try. I'm using the one from class. If you just stumbled across me on YouTube, hey, how's it going? I'm a professor. I teach this stuff. Okay, so let's work with just a simple variable. What we want to do is create a frequency table, which essentially just means that we want to know how many times something happens in a particular variable. So I'm using the general social survey data. So for example, if we looked at marital status, we're just looking at a count or a percentage of what people are married, what percentage of people are married, what percentage of people are divorced, separated, etc. Let's go ahead and do it for the degree variable. So if you're following along in class, this is column F in our Excel sheet, depending on what year you're watching this, but I will probably always be using this one. So let's figure out exactly how we do this. I'm going to go ahead and open up this tab up here that says Insert on the top left up here. And then I'm going to click on the far left where it says pivot table. So a pivot table is essentially in Excel how you get this to work. So I've got an option in this dialog box that opens up. I can either choose a new worksheet or an existing worksheet. I prefer to open up a new one. You can use the existing one, but there isn't a ton of room here. So just to make it cleaner, I prefer a new worksheet if possible. Okay, so now if you look on the right side, we've got some different options here. Now, only one variable populated, by the way, which is degree. And the reason is because if you look at my original data sheet, I highlighted that column. If I didn't highlight it, I can still open up a pivot table and it's going to give me a lot of options. So let me go ahead and just try that one more time because we can do it a few different ways. So I'm going to close. I'm just going to use a different worksheet. So I'm not going to highlight any of the columns. I'm just going to leave it as is. Hit insert, pivot table, hit new worksheet. And notice now that I've got all of my variables here on the right window. So it really just kind of depends. If you want to make it nice and neat, you can just click on that column. It's ready to go, or you can open it up like this. So I'm going to go ahead and click on degree, and I'm going to pull it down. And you can drag it. See, notice how I'm dragging the degree variable. I'm going to drag it to the rows because I want it to populate in the rows. And I'm also going to drag it down into values. I guess I already populated here. Let me go remove this one. I'll Control Z out of that. There we go. So I've got two things going on down at the bottom. If you look at my cursor, I've got degree in the rows, and I've also got degree in the values. So this is the sum of degree. And this is actually not what I want. I want a count of how many times these things happen. So I need to change what it says here in values. So I'm going to click this down arrow and go to value field settings right here and switch that from sum to count because I want to count it. Hit enter or okay, and there we go. So now I have a proper, count of what I'm looking at. So here it says 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the table that it made for me, it's fine, but it's not great. So we can do some more with it. Let me go ahead and zoom in, make it a little bit better. So these are different categories for how much education we have. So to make it a little easier to understand, let's open up the code book just to get a sense. Let me shut my volume off here. Just to get a sense of what we're actually looking at. So it's the degree variable. Let me go ahead and hold on. No, I have to keep that on. Never mind. Okay, so let me search for degree here. And there we go. Highest degree. So look at what 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 mean. 0 is less than high school. 1 is high school. 2 is junior college, excuse me. 3 is a bachelor's degree, and 4 is graduate. So if we want to, we could probably, might even be able to do it this way. Let me see if it'll let me. I don't know if it's going to let me do this. There's probably a way to do this. I've just never done it before. Let me try pasting this. Yeah, it'll work. So if I get rid of, I just get rid of the ones in between. That'll work. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and create my own table now that I have this information. I'm going to delete the codes in between because I don't really want the codes. I want a nice table. So let's see. And then we're going to put the counts right next to it, just like that. All right. So I can see all my, this is going to be my frequency. I'm going to call this FX. There's a few different ways that you can do it. Sometimes, or lowercase f probably is better. It can be f of x, or sometimes you'll see it like that in stats, fx. So these are going to be the categories for, I'm just going to degree up here. And then I also want to do the percent, just like that. And the, we'll stick with that for now. There we go. Frequency and percent. We'll deal with the rest later. All right. I'm going to make a nice little table for this. So boom, go ahead and bold type those. So the first thing we need to do, and then we need a total down here. There we go. So we have the grand total is 2370. By the way, if you want to make an easy way to get a total in Excel, go equal sum, and then click this first option we have here for sum, and highlight all the data to be summed, and there you go. And now we need to do a percentage. So the formula for percentage is the frequency divided by the total, which is the n, right? So the fx divided by the n times 100, because we're going to get the proportion if we divide our frequency by our total, but that's not the percentage. Most people think in terms of percent, not proportion. It's easy to convert in your mind, by the way, but we're gonna do this a little bit differently. So in order to do this, what I'm going to do, I'm working in cell C13. I'm going to hit equals. That's going to open up my formula. And I'm going to, in parentheses, and it's always good practice. You don't always have to do this depending on how your order of operations work out, but I like making it nice and neat. So I'm going to open up the parenthesis here. So equals, and then I'm going to click on 150. So I need to find the transformation percentage for less than high school, divide it by the total, which is 2370. So I click on the 2370. Now I'm going to actually need to divide by this 2370 for all 5 of my categories of education here. So rather than just doing that over and over again, I'm going to use a different function that Excel has. It's different on each keyboard, depending if you have a Mac or a PC. For mine, I take function and hold down function and click F4. And notice what happened. I'm going to do it one more time. You can watch it. Function F4, watch that B19 when I do that. And when I do it, you get some dollar signs in front. So what that dollar sign is, it holds it for me. So, where did it go? Let me try that again. So click on the grand total, function F4. I clearly hit something wrong. Let me try it again. There it is. Turns it into dollar signs, close the parenthesis. So first order of operations, frequency divided by the percentage. And then we're going to multiply, that's shift 8, so the little star, by 100. And that is going to give us a percentage. And here, let me make sure I did this right. B13 divided by 70. B19 times 100. So this would be roughly 6%. That does not look right at all. No, it is right. There we go. Okay, so it was just not very many people. Okay, so 6%, what this means is 6% of the population in this, or the survey actually, in this sample has less than a high school degree. Actually, that does make more sense now because there are very few people who have less than a high school degree. So rather than doing the formula for every single one, because that's going to take a long time, what you can do is click on the first percentage that we worked out, and then you're going to put your cursor on the bottom right side of this little this box here, and then we just drag it down, and it will, boom, autofill. And so, as we can see, 44% have a high school degree. There's their highest, about 10% junior college, about a quarter of Americans a bachelor, and another 15% have a graduate degree. All right, so that's roughly about what we would expect. So to make sure we got it right, I'm going to go equals sum again, and I'm going to sum together all of these percentages. Hit enter, and look at that. it equals 100. The other thing I'm going to do, just to make it a little bit easier, I've got 4 decimal places here. That's a little overkill for me. So I'm going to highlight those cells, and then I'm going to tighten it up here. If you see it up in the top, we've got increase decimal. I want to decrease decimal down to 2 decimal places. Let's do that one more time. It's nicer to look at. So anyways, I've got this table. I can do all kinds of things with it. I can copy it and I can paste it onto into Microsoft Word. I put borders on it, all different kinds of things. So it's just an easy way to have it available. So let's say we want to make a pie chart. So there's a few different ways we can do this. I'm going to go ahead and just copy what we have here, move it over. And I like doing this in Excel, by the way, is when I'm working on things, just to kind of move things around a little bit, makes it easier. I want to get rid of the FX because I care about the percentage. So I'm going to highlight column G and just delete that out of there. And let's try to make a pie chart out of this. So I'm actually going to highlight, anytime you make a graph in Excel, you want to highlight the data. I'm going to go insert and click on charts. I'm going to expand all of them so I can see what I'm looking at. And look at this. It's got a pie chart. It's giving me a recommendation, by the way, and it's saying percentage. I don't think I really want percent. We can type something else in here. So let's say degree attainment. Highlight the data again. Let's try this. Look at that. That's great. Hit OK. And I've got a pie chart that represents the data exactly the way that I was looking at it. Go ahead and shrink that down, move that over, and let's try it with a bar chart. So that's the other way you can do it. Insert all charts, and it's even giving us an option. We can do a bar chart if we want. This is a different kind of bar chart. So it just depends on how you want it to look. It's really nice. Once you get into Excel, you can change all the colors. You can make one blue, one red, one yellow, etc. So anyways, lots of versatility when it comes to what you want to do. But this is the basic idea of a frequency table. There's lots of other things we could do. We could do cumulative frequency, cumulative percentage. But for the purpose of what we're doing today, that does it. All right. I'm going to do the same thing for SPSS in a different video. It's going to be a lot shorter because SPSS is very fast. All right. We'll catch you next time, I guess.